It's 7 o'clock. Let's flip in the building. Hey, Money Elms, you ready? Let's go. Welcome to Elm Street, the hottest podcast. And all that cash in Money Elms pockets, it look like thigh pads. He talking trending topics, he ain't no carbon copy. We talking sports, music, and fashion and other options to get us out the hood and keep that paper coming. And I smoke homes, not backwoods, I'm about to blaze an onion. These rappers flexing on the gram and they got fake cheddar. This intro was provided to you by Flip Mayweather. That right. Yeety, yeety. Money Elms, what's up? Yeah. Lil' Flip in the building. Screwed up clip. Welcome to Elm Street.
Yo, what's up? Welcome to Elm Street. It's your boy, your host, Money Elms. What is good, D-Town? What is good? Thanks for everybody who's listening out there, man. We got an exciting show today, man. I expect some crazy shit happening today.
Of course.
Most definitely. Let me just go ahead and get it out the way. And let me introduce my guest co-host today.
Oh, you called introducing me getting it out the way? That's almost like getting ready to fuck your bitch and be like, let me get this out the way. That's how I took that.
It's like
you ready to
we're
get
getting
this
the
out the way?
Introduction
My
out
vagina's
the way.
sitting here popping and you ready to get this out the way? Fuck you.
You crazy. Hey, but like I said, it was some crazy shit gonna happen today, man.
Right? And it already started.
Hey, we got Veda Loca in the house.
Hey.
On Elm Street. What's good, Veda?
It's a daydream on Elm Street.
Not a nightmare.
Not a nightmare.
Oh, yeah.
It's a daydream. Hopefully you come. Hopefully you come.
Shit.
It's a daydream on Elm Street.
Oh, man, I'm gonna be nervous today, man.
Why?
I don't know what's gonna be coming out. That microphone over there.
Don't be nervous.
It's gonna be interesting.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. So let's go ahead and jump right into these trending topics.
Oh,
So,
okay. Let's jump on it.
We got R. Kelly that just got convicted and got sentenced to 30 years, right?
Yeah. And that's just his first. He has 2 more to go.
2 more to go.
Yeah.
Are you an R. Kelly fan?
Of his music, I was. Yeah, I was a big. Who doesn't like R. Kelly's music? Like, you know.
Yeah.
So, working on the radio, one of my coworkers left her position and went to be one of R. Kelly's concubine.
Wow.
So my friend Kitty, her name is Kitty. She worked for 97.9 The Beat, and R. Kelly came to Fort Worth. Pulled up, saw Kitty, was like, yo, Kitty, let's make it poppin'. I don't know what happened, but Kitty quit her job and she went to go to Chicago and live with R. Kelly, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it was not great for her. As a matter of fact, she was like mentally and physically abused.
Wow.
Yeah, I've spoken to her like she was in a hellhole. Like literally, like I remember her telling me a story about how she was walking into the studio when she first arrived with all her luggage, right?
Mm-hmm.
All her stuff. She got all her bam, pulling this, bringing that. And she was pulling everything and she dropped something, whatever. And somebody was about to go help her, right?
Mm-hmm.
Help her get her shit together. R. Kelly was like, nope, don't help her. And that was the catalyst. That was the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know if that was the beginning for her, but when she told me the story, like, man,
That
so
would've
you
been a
just
red
get
flag.
you just getting there, red flag. You're just getting there and you need help. And he says, no one can help you. No one can help you. I'll be honest with you. If I hadn't heard her story, I might have felt a different way because I don't know those other women,
Mm-hmm.
but I know her. And she told me about times where she was locked up in a room where she couldn't get out
Wow.
and couldn't eat. She had a friend in Dallas that she would call her. She lived in Chicago. She's in Chicago
Mm-hmm.
at R. Kelly's concubine. And she would have to call her friend in Dallas to order pizza so she could eat. Because R. Kelly would not let anybody feed her at all. She had to sneak food, like find a way to get food.
I mean, was she?
That's who we talking about. A nigga that would keep a woman in a position where she couldn't get food when she wanted food. It's crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy. So was she held against her will, or?
I think that at that point, you have no will. It's not about, can I just leave? Like, you just quit your fucking job. You don't know what the fuck you're going to do.
Or where to go?
Yeah, you're here. You're here.
Mm-hmm.
So you're just trying to figure it out. So it's not about your will. It's just about, what can I do?
Plus, she was in Chicago.
Don't know anybody. She calling to Dallas to get pizza. So he's a monster. He's a monster. His music is amazing. And usually monstrous motherfuckers do amazing shit in the bed. Besides in the bed. You know? Not in real life, because he was a terror.
So does that change your, as far as how you feel about his music? Does it change your mind, or are you still a fan of the music?
Oh, I don't listen to his music. I love his music, but I would, if I listen to it, it'll be in private.
Mm.
I'll tell you the one thing that I love about, that didn't even sound right. The one thing that that don't even sound right too. Okay, here it goes. I like to pee on motherfuckers. I love golden showers. So that might be like the only thing that I can find any type of connection with R. Kelly.
Mm.
And then his was different. Like, my golden showers are like people peeing on me. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And then R. Kelly was more like, I'm going to pee on you, bitch. You little, type shit. But I think that's the only thing we got in common. I like golden showers. And I'll just, yeah.
Just gonna put it out there.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not afraid of my sexual escapades. I love golden showers. I like to pee on people, and I like to get peed on.
All right, there you have it. Well, so with the 30 years that he's facing, they were saying that he sold some of his music, some of his catalog.
At a minimal price. I think what they say, like $7 million, $5 million to pay some lawyer fees. I don't know.
Something like that.
But think about it though. No one's playing his music. Like, there has to be a big separation of time for people to be okay to play his music. So Irv Gotti, you know who Irv Gotti is, right?
Yeah, yeah.
He just sold 50% of his catalog for $100 million. R. Kelly sold his catalog, or whatever he sold, for like $5 million. So he's never going to get out of jail, though. R. Kelly's never getting out of jail.
So those are just the 30 he got for that. There's still he
has another case in Illinois
and
another case in Minnesota. He's got 2 more cases where they're probably going to give him 20 and 30 years each case. So he's never getting out of jail.
Unless he gets pardoned.
I doubt it.
Man.
Yeah. I doubt it. Realistically, he's not getting out of jail. So, his masters, I don't. It all depends on how the world forgives him. If the world says, okay, R. Kelly is paying his time and he's serving his sentence and he'll never get out and hurt another bitch, let's party to his music because he's never going to be here to fuck another bitch. That might work. That might happen.
Yeah.
I would like for that to happen. I would like for the world to say, okay, R. Kelly's never getting out. Let's enjoy his music because he's never getting out. And he's never going to hurt nobody else. I want a two-step to, yeah. I don't even know what song that is. But it's R. Kelly's song.
Yeah. So I guess, I mean, I know I feel the same way as far as I don't listen to his music. You know, I'm somewhat of a fan, but before.
If you're a fan of music, you're a fan of R. Kelly.
But this is before everything came out, and, you know, it just makes me feel, I don't know, weird. You know what I mean? Because I personally, you know, wouldn't, I guess,
rape a bitch?
That and
Keep
be
her
a predator
hungry?
type, you know what I mean? That's kind of like
beat her?
Yeah, exactly.
Shackle her?
All the above.
Brainwash her?
So for me,
pee on her? Would you pee on her though?
I mean, that's not my thing.
Would you pee on her? Would you pee on a willing participant?
I mean, if my spouse.
Why are you looking at the producer?
No, I was just looking that way.
Because Jordan is over there like, nigga.
I mean,
Jordan's like, don't look over here. My pee goes in the toilet. That's what Jordan just said in his head. My pee goes in the toilet.
If my spouse, I guess, if she enjoyed that, then I guess, hey, here we go.
You wouldn't feel no problem about it. Now, what if she want to pee on you?
Well, I don't know. I don't think I would enjoy that.
You don't know until you do it, but would you be open to just trying it?
I guess, I don't know. I guess I probably would.
Can you look into the camera right now and tell your spouse it's okay if she want to pee on you?
No. I have to be drunk. I got to be on some Hennessy.
And you don't even drink.
Hennessy and Coke.
When's the last time you drank?
Last weekend.
You told me you don't drink.
I don't drink and drive. But I do drink.
I like that part about you.
So,
yeah,
you know what I mean? So the other thing I wanted to touch about was the whole situation happening right now with, you know, women's rights and the whole abortion deal that's pretty much out in the forefront of social media, news, any platform, you're hearing about it.
Well,
what's your take on it?
First of all, I don't feel like, just because you're a man, I don't mean to gather you right now, but it's not women's rights. It's women's bodies. Like, me and my body shouldn't have anything to do with what you think about my rights. Like, it's my motherfucking body. Like, it's my body. You can't tell me what to do with my motherfucking body. Like, it's my body. It's not, because women we had to be able to have the right to vote, right?
Yeah.
Women finally get the right to vote. There was a point in time where women couldn't even have ownership of property. So women had to be able to have ownership of property. Women had to be able to have the right to vote. Women had to be able to have the right to a voice. But with my vagina, you shouldn't be able to tell me what to do with my motherfucking vagina. Like, that's my vagina. Like, that's mine. What is you telling me to do? Like, no. But the no got taken away. I'm gonna tell you this. Elms. Cause I'm like, do you go by your real name?
Yeah.
Elm Street?
I mean, I go by Elms.
Elmer.
I mean, yeah.
Elmer is sexy because it's kind of weird. I don't know any person in my life that named their child Elmer, but your mom.
Yep.
It is still sexy. Elmer, at first when Roe versus Wade was overturned, I was like, well, I don't have a dog in this fight because I've already had all my abortions. So I'm not affected, right? I've had quite a few abortions. God still blessed me. Like, God still blessed me. I had more than one abortion, and God blessed me. Like, God showed up in my life. God was like, yes, bitch. Like, every day I wake up in the morning, God be like, bitch, you ready? I be like, yes, bitch. My God be bitch. I be like, to my God, bitch. I be like, let's go. So the fact that the Supreme Court took it upon themselves to say, well, my God, because it was a religious decision. The Supreme Court says, well, my God says that this ain't cool. Nigga, well, what the fuck? You need to wake up with me in the morning because my God is like, bitch. My God is like, bitch. Like, my God is like, yeah, I know you did what you did. I know you do what you do. But I forgive you. Every day I wake up, I forgive you. Every day you wake up, you got another chance. Every day you get up, you a different person. You a new person. Every day you wake up, you a new person. That's my God. And for the Supreme Court to take away, because I don't believe anything is here on this earth that doesn't have God's grace. Right? You can kill somebody and still be forgiven. You can have an abortion and still be forgiven. You can lie, still be forgiven. You can cheat, still be forgiven. You can still be forgiven. Like, God is a forgiving God. So the fact that you take away something that God is okay with, because God is okay with everything. To me, God is okay with everything, because nothing would be here if God wasn't cool with it, because God created what? Every fucking thing. There's nothing here that God did not create.
True.
Nothing. So you take away my right because of your religion. So I believe Roe versus Wade is some bullshit, but when it first came out, I was like, well, I'm cool because I didn't have like all my abortions. So I'm good. Nigga, I could have a whole motherfucking NBA team right now. I'm sorry. Take that back, God. Well, God knows. Bitch, you lying. Okay, yeah, I'm lying. I could have an NBA team. But so when this came down, I'm not of the age to be having kids right now, but I got a 16-year-old. So the conversation now with me and my 16-year-old is, yo, you get a bitch pregnant? Oh, she having a baby.
It's over.
It ain't about can we get an abortion? No, she having a baby. Do you want that? So that's the conversation I'm having with my 16-year-old. Like,
strap up, pull out.
well, nowadays, kids don't. So kids nowadays spend their lives like this. Watching other motherfuckers create content. And if they're not creating content about babies and safe sex, which our kids are not watching, safe sex videos, they're watching YouTube, they're watching funny shit, they're watching NBA Youngboy, they're watching Blick, 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 they're watching pow, 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 you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Killer Op, Lil Durk, I'm about that shit, that life. That's what they're watching. So they're not watching safe sex. They're not watching pull out. They're not watching those videos. They're watching bullshit. So when they pull their heads up and get in some pussy, they don't know what the fuck they doing. Boom. Now she pregnant. Because you like Lil Durk videos instead of Planned Parenthood videos.
Yeah.
So that's what my son. I'm like, yo, Dylan, you, ooh, do you want to have a baby? I'll be honest with you. I'm at that particular age. I could do with a grand. If I had a grandbaby, I would take the grandbaby. I'd be like, fuck you and her, my baby, because I'm at that age where, because I didn't have my son till I was 32.
Mm.
Most women right now are grandparents at 32. But I made it past 32, God willing, because he knew I had to show up in the club like, yes, bitch. So I'm at
Yeah.
the age like, if my son had a baby and he could have an abortion, I'd be like, good, I'll take it. But I just think that God knows everything, and stop tripping. God knows, like, stop tripping like abortions are wrong. God fucking knows about abortions, because if it wouldn't be here if God didn't say be here.
Mm-hmm. So did you hear what Charlemagne said
About
about what he thinks that this is really about? That it's more about,
control.
yeah, but what he said was that it's I guess white people recreating more of their race is what he said. That's why they're trying to stop abortion, because they said the percentage of white women that are having abortions is higher than any other race. They said that he said that the numbers are out there, and that's why they're trying to pass this.
I'm gonna tell you my opinion. Yes, marginalized communities have a lot of abortions, and marginalized communities would be of black and brown descent,
Mm-hmm.
would be us. But the white people that be having abortions usually be the rich white people that are cheating on their husbands, out here doing some dumb shit. I don't think that abortions is going to, like, oh, curtail any certain race.
Race.
I really don't. Because we only talk about what we know.
Yeah.
There's so many people out there having abortions that you don't know. There's so many women out there having abortions that never talk about it. There's so many women out there that had to have an abortion because of incest, because of rape, because of cheating, because of I don't want to have it. Like, there's so many women having abortions that you don't know, and you don't know.
Mm.
So that number is so big because no one's an abortion cheerleader.
Yeah.
No one really is. I mean, I told you I could add an NBA team,
Mm.
and I might get some flack for that. But it's done, and God still blessed me. So fuck you. Anybody who has a problem with it, it's done. I had my abortions, and God still blessed me. Fuck you. Boom. But there's a lot of abortions out here that we don't know about.
True.
We only think that we're only speaking that what we think we know.
Mm-hmm.
But there's so many women that are doing this in silence. So white, black, Mexican, Asian, all of them.
All of them.
All of them. It's my ASMR. It's like, can you hear me right now? I wish I had a crab leg because I would eat it up right now. Jordan, can you hear me? Yes, this is make your dick hard a little bit. He said no. I like ASMR. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. I like ASMR.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, everybody has their own opinion. It's a sensitive subject at the end of the day. But hey, I'm nobody to tell anybody what to do with their bodies.
Yeah.
You
So
know,
that's
'cause
the thing about it.
I personally wouldn't like somebody to tell me what to do with mine. You know what I mean? So to each his own on that one. You know what I mean? As far as like, you got to respect everybody's decision, how they feel about certain things. It's, yeah, because I wouldn't like the government telling me, hey, well, you got to get snipped. You know what I mean?
Or
I
if
wouldn't like that. I'm like,
if
fuck
by
that.
chance that you could like have a baby, right? And so there's a baby in your penis, and you have a choice to either birth the baby or suck the baby out, at a reasonable stage, because you're
Yeah.
not ready to stay home on Friday night or whatever. Like, you want that choice because it's your body. It's your body, and you should be able to to say whatever you want to do with your body, and the consequences are not between you and the Supreme Court. The consequences are between you and God. And God blessed me numerous times.
Yeah.
It was like weird. Like, when I got to a certain age, I was like, oh my God, I'll probably never ever be able to have a baby because of what happened numerous times. God was like, bitch, quit playing. I'm about to get you pregnant right now. Bam. Bam. My God was like, bam, bitch, you pregnant again. Had his hodo. And I was like, okay, God, I'm going to have this baby. And that's how it worked out. But to sit on some throne and tell me what the fuck to do with my vagina, to me, is sadistic.
So with Dylan, what was different this time?
With Dylan in the pregnancy?
Yeah. So I guess.
Okay. So first of all, I kept coming on my period. So I didn't know I was pregnant. So for 3 months, I was coming on my period. So that meant I was drinking Patron, snorting Coke, popping X pills, because that's what my life was. I'm steady being Veda for 3 months. I'm coming on my period, getting high as fuck, drunk as fuck, everything is fuck. The 3rd month, I guess the 3rd month I just started feeling weird. Like, what's going on? This is weird. So I spoke to my mom, right? I was like, Mom, something don't feel right. And I don't know why, but I went and got a pregnancy test. I guess my body told me. My body was like, bitch, you pregnant. But again, for 3 months, I'm coming on my period. So I'm gung-ho. Back then, I was a Coke addict. I did X. I drank. I was that person. I'm 7 years clean right now of Coke. And ecstasy, woo, way but I think I stopped doing ecstasy when I found out I was pregnant, and I never did it again. That was just like a trivial drug. Coke was my problem. Ecstasy, it was whatever. But anyway, so in the 3 months, boom, all of a sudden I'm feeling weird. And then I'm feeling weird. So I have a pregnancy test and my ass is pregnant, right? And so I go to my mom and I'm like, Mom, oh my God, what the fuck? I don't say that to my mom because I don't cuss. I don't cuss in my mom's presence. But I was like, Ma, ooh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Like, what the I don't even know whose baby this is. I don't even know. I don't even know. 3 months ago, who the fuck did I fuck? I don't know. So, my first abortion was at 14. At 14. And that's why, like, these motherfucking people making decisions for people, like, shut the fuck up. My first abortion was at 14. And my mom was like, no, you're not going to be a 14-year-old mom. And here's the crazy thing about it. My first pregnancy was called a splash pregnancy. You probably never heard of that.
No.
So I'm 14 years old. I'm in Philly. Motown, Philly, back. Okay. I'm in Philly. My dad's from Philly. We're at the park. Little light-skinned dude. Because I'm chocolate. So most chocolate girls like light-skinned niggas, right? And then light skinned niggas was in back then anyway. So this little dude, we hook up. Let's go to the park. We go to the park. We're laying on the ground. He's like, okay, we about to do this, right? So he take his penis out. He rub it on me. I'm like, you know what? I don't want to. I'm good. I don't want to. So I changed my mind. But he still his penis is out, still rubbing it. We friction it with it. He never went in, never had sex. He's just, your first hunch, right? When you on top of a girl with your dick out.
It's a little dry hump.
It's dry hump.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't that dry because his pre-ejaculation got inside of me. So I was pregnant and I had never been fucked.
Wow.
So they had to explain this to my parents. It's called a splash pregnancy. Splash pregnancy. They had to tell my dad because my dad was fucking mad as fuck, out of control. Who the fuck is this? But I was like, Dad, I didn't have sex. And they're like, yeah, you did, bitch, you pregnant. He didn't call me bitch.
Yeah.
That's one thing about my parents. So both my parents never cussed. I'm a sailor. I cuss everybody out. But both my parents never cussed. So anyways, I'm pregnant and they call it a splash pregnancy. My hymen, a girl is a virgin. She has this film. It's called a hymen. My hymen was still intact. No one penetrated my hymen. But the fact that he was rubbing on me and, dry hunching and pre-ejaculating and whatever, his shit got in me and I got pregnant at 14.
It's crazy.
At 14, I was pregnant. And my mom said, you're not having a baby at 14. You are not having a baby at 14. And so I was able to have an abortion. Why would you make me have a baby?
At 14.
And and the dick didn't even get in me. That's crazy. So that's how I feel about abortion. That's how I feel about Roe versus Wade. Some bullshit.
You just heard it. So the other topic I wanted to discuss is the 53 migrants that died in that 18-wheeler in San Antonio.
Yeah.
That's some sad shit right there. A lot of these people, they leave certain countries or their homelands because apparently it's not working where they're at. Either they're going through some shit, cartels or or just property, all that.
This is the land of the free.
And especially where we all came from different places.
Somewhere.
Yeah. Not Native Americans that were already here, but
got killed.
But other than that, nobody's really from here. They're just trying to get a better opportunity in life. And that's just sad.
Why should you be condemned and faulted for that? That's dumb. My first reaction to that is, and I'll tell you, and I'll say it as bluntly as I can. So when this first happened, I'm watching the news. Greg Abbott, governor of Texas, Greg Abbott. This was on the news. They say Greg Abbott blames Joe Biden. Greg Abbott says this is Joe Biden's fault. That's the first thing I heard. And this was actually when it was 46.
Went up.
Precious souls. This was when it was 46 precious souls. remarkable human beings that just wanted a different life. You don't know who's on that bus, that truck. Could be just amazing individuals, amazing mothers, fathers, children. So the fact that Greg Abbott chose to blame Biden, this is on you. Like, are you fucking serious? It's not a particular blame on an individual. It's the system. It is, why can't we come here as humans and not cargo? Why can't I be allowed to walk up as a human and not have to be put in an 18-wheeler as cargo? Because that's what you're making me feel like. I feel like we all have to have the mindset that we are humans. We are not cargo. We are not throwaways. We are not baggage. We are real live individuals that have something to offer to this world. Everybody got something to offer to this world. God put something into everybody. Whether you know it or not, everyone has a purpose. Whether your purpose be engineering, hey Jordan, whether your purpose be frying chicken, KFC, whether your purpose be cleaning up homes, Molly Maid, whether it be making people laugh, Steve Harvey, everyone has a purpose. Whether it be picking up dog shit. There are people who make millions of dollars picking up dog shit because they found out a way to just make it work for them. So everyone has a purpose on this earth. And when you stop treating people like humans and start treating them like cargo, that's what happens. We building walls. You building walls to keep out what? Cargo? Riffraff? These are humans that need a better life. So it breaks my heart, and when it happened, I immediately just sent out healing energy to the families that are affected. And you know what came across my mind? I bet you some families didn't even know that they were on there, and a lot of those people on there will be gone and will not have any type of live on because a lot of those humans on that truck, family didn't know they was there.
Wow.
Don't even know they gone. It's done. And there's no legacy. There's no nothing because they weren't treated like humans in the motherfucking beginning.
Yeah.
Treat them like humans.
There was this story of this female. She was I believe she was a teenager, and they said that it took her 3 months to make it to San Antonio from her country, and I believe she was from Honduras, so that she had to travel from her country, cross all of Mexico, and make it to San Antonio. It said it took her I guess they ended up finding some of her relatives. She was actually the first victim identified.
Oh, you talking about on this truck?
Yeah, on this truck. That she had left 3 months ago, and she finally had made it, and her destination ended up in San Antonio. That's sad. You know, she was trying to reunite with her mother that was already here, and they never got to see that reunion. That's pretty sad.
You know, I get so pissed off that the United States of America looks at itself like good pussy. The border, Greg Abbott, all they look like America is such good pussy. Your pussy stinks. Especially when shit like this happens. You have the foulest smelling pussy ever. Just be human. And treat everybody human. and take time to figure out what everybody needs. Maybe everybody can't come across, but don't make it to the point where people have to do that type of shit because you don't give a fuck. You don't give a fuck. And the fact that I'm mad at Greg Abbott because he blamed Biden, but I'm going to go ahead and say, Greg Abbott, that shit's on you. I put it back on him. He's a monster. Let people be human and let people live. This United States of America is not that cute that we can't let niggas in. And when I say niggas, I mean my friends.
Yeah.
Hey, my nigga. Hey, bitch. Don't let it be that cute that you can't let bitches in, bitch. Because this my friends is coming.
It's the club. They have a line.
I wish we would treat it like the club, but we treat it like the penitentiary. And we bring people in already condemning them. We bring people in already looking down on them. We bring them in already doubting them, not treating them like the true spirits and energies and God's children that they are. You know, America's fucked up. America is fucked up. And I think it starts with Texas. Bitch.
So Vita, let's take it from the top.
Take it from top.
Mic check, mic check. So, where you from?
Okay, so my dad was in the military, and I get to pick and choose where I'm from because I went to a lot of different.
Where's your birth state?
Oh, does that? Okay, so if you was born somewhere and then you left before you was even walking, does that matter? Because like, if you're born somewhere and then you leave when you're like 6 months old, does it matter?
You still touched down on that state for 6 months.
No, I didn't walk though.
They still sat you down.
In a baby chair, in a high chair.
Something. Or
Little
a blanket. And
Little Rock.
Little Rock.
Little Rock. Banging it. I'm banging in Little Rock.
Already.
Banging in Little Rock, yeah. Little Rock.
So your dad, you say your dad was in the military.
Air Force.
So with that, you had to move around all the time?
Every 4 to 5 years. My high school, my senior year in high school, I was at a brand new high school that I'd never been at before in my life. And that's when I was like, really, God? So you just gonna uproot me and put me in a new school my senior year. My senior year, new school, new everything, new state, new city, new school, new everything. And that's what happened. But I did get best dressed that year in the yearbook. That matters. In the yearbook. Not
so so where did you land on your senior year?
Warrensburg, Missouri.
Missouri.
And my school actually was in a town called Knobnoster. Knobnoster.
Never heard of it.
Missouri.
And how long were you there?
A year after I graduated, I left.
Did y'all move again, or did you move by yourself?
No, my mom, I went there. So my mom wasn't in the military, but she worked for the military. Okay. So when we left the last base, that my mom and dad got divorced in Albuquerque, New Mexico. That's where they divorced at. So they divorced there. My dad moved. We're still in Albuquerque, New Mexico. That's where I did middle school and some high school. So, so here's the deal. I was a very hard to deal with child. So 9th grade, I started in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And then 10th grade came and I got a little unruly. So my mom sent me to live with my father in D.C. And then I go to DC. My dad is like, oh my God, that's crazy. So he sent me back. So I go back to Albuquerque, start school again, and then I got kicked out of school in Albuquerque again the second time. So when I got kicked out of school, I had to go to like an alternative school. And then when I went to the alternative school, my mom was like, you know what? I don't want her to graduate from this type of environment, the alternative school. So she put in for a transfer for her job. And that's what ended us up in Warrensburg, Missouri. And so we go there, and I get to Warrensburg, like I said, senior year. Never met anybody here ever. Never been to Kansas, Missouri, nothing. And I ended up graduating, not even just best dress. I made it to the honor roll. Now, mind you, I was back there in Albuquerque getting kicked out of school.
For fighting or what?
Yeah. Inciting a gang riot. Well, I was rolling 20s.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was cripping.
You crip walking.
Yeah. I was 20s, rolling 20s.
Already. So when was the point where you started doing the transition into the music, I guess radio? When did that come to the picture?
So when I graduated high school in Warrensburg, I was about to go to college, CMSU, Central Missouri State. But my brother was like, you really want to do this? Like, and I was like, yeah, I really want to do this. And he was like, well, I feel like you should like get a trade, and I feel like you should help our mom pay for college, right? So I was like, okay, because he had just opened up a barbershop in here in Dallas, in Euless, in Texas. And so he said, you need to help our mom pay for college. You should go to school and do hair. That way you can be in school, make money, and help pay. And I said, you know what? You're right. I'm going to try this. So I decided to go to hair school where my dad lived in Maryland, D.C. area. So I get out there and I go to hair school, and bitch, that's a lot of money I'm making. I was like, fuck that. Fuck college. Like, nigga, I'm rich, bitch. Well, I was making hella money doing hair, right? So I was like, nah, I'm good. I'm not going back to college. Fuck that shit. Because I'm making a lot of money. So I'm doing hair. And I'm doing hair and I'm doing hair. And then something inside of me said, what happened was people would come to get their hair done from me that didn't need their hair done. And the reason they would come to get their hair done from me and they didn't need their hair done is because they like to be around me. They like to hear what I'm talking about. They just like Veda's energy. And so when I noticed that, and I noticed that people just like to be around me, people want to know what I'm doing. People want to hear me talk. People want to hear me talk. They just want to be in my presence. They just want to know what I'm doing. They just want to be around Veda. I said, oh, the world needs to feel this. This is bigger. And then, I will say this. I met this chick from France, right? While I'm doing hair in D.C. And this bitch knew everybody. She knew Mike Tyson. She knew Michael Jordan. She knew Wyclef Jean. She knew Busta Rhymes. I met her. I don't know how I met her, but I met her. And then we just linked. And so everywhere she went, I went. And so she was introducing me into all this VIP shit. So I go with her to the club, never stand in line. We go in the club, never buy a drink. I go with her everywhere. After the club, we in the hotel room with Busta Rhymes. I go with her over here. We over here with Wyclef Jean. So I'm with her, and her name was Jean, like Jean, Jean, but she's from Paris. She's white as my shoes, right? She's super white in complexion, but she a nigga, and that's how it is in Paris. So we hook up, we link up. She ended up living with me. She ended up staying with me. Like she was like a transit. She was like a transit. Came out of nowhere that I met.
Yeah.
But when I met her, she introduced me into the VIP world. She introduced me into No Lines, hanging with stars, not paying for nothing. VIP. So, fuck. I meet her. People coming to me just want to be around me when I'm at work. And I was like, yo, ooh, God is saying I need to do something different. So it took a while, but I was like, what do I do? What do I do? And I just was like, I want to be in the entertainment industry. I want to be in the club. I want to be in the club, but I don't want to be no waitress. I don't want to be no bartender. I want to be in the club and I want to be making money in the club. But I don't want to wait for you. I want more in the club. So it took me figuring it out. I did stand-up comedy. I was like, oh, maybe I should do stand-up. So I did stand-up comedy because I felt like that could get me a TV show. And I could just get put on. And when I didn't, I got booed. And I was like, fuck y'all. Fuck y'all niggas. I'm not coming back. And I did really good. Like, the night I got booed, it was crazy. We was on, it was a show in Oklahoma. And we got high on our way there. I just started stand-up comedy. Why would I get high before my show and listen to prank phone calls? So when I got on stage, all I could think about was prank phone calls that I heard, and I'm still high. So I got booed. That was the last time I got on the stage like in that capacity. And so after that, I said, well, maybe I could be in the public relations. Maybe I could be PR. So I enrolled in junior college because I was like, I'm going to go to school for PR. So I enrolled in junior college and they gave me algebra. What has this got to do with anything about public relations? Algebra? Are you fucking serious? So I dropped out. I said, fuck that shit. I can't do that. I don't want to do algebra. So here we are. I stopped stand-up. I stopped algebra. But I still have the vision, though. So I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to send a tape to MTV. I'm going to make a good-ass tape. I'm going to send it to MTV. So I hired this dude to film me like I was already on MTV. And we would go to just like different bars, Humperdinck's. Humperdinck's used to have a $2 Tuesday in Arlington. So we go there. We go to the mall. I pretend like I'm on TV and then people would talk to me. And he made this tape for me. And I said, okay, I'm going to send it to MTV, right? And then when I say tape, I mean VHS tape. This is how long this is. It's like 20-some years ago. So he made me a tape. He gave me like 20. I purchased like 20 tapes, VHS tapes. I'll never forget. They had there was the VHS tape, and the outside was a red coat, the red box, the little box that come in. Yeah. Beer red, right? So I put the tape in a manila envelope. I went online and got the address to MTV. So I addressed the tape, put the tape in. I addressed it to MTV. I got 20 of them, but this is just one. I addressed it to MTV. And then I was like, man, they're not even looking for anybody right now. This is when like some kind of anthrax thing was happening, and I thought that MTV was gonna think that that was anthrax, and so I didn't send it because I was like, oh God, they're gonna think this is anthrax. They're not even asking for no one to send nothing, and I didn't even want the disappointment of sending it and not getting any reply. I didn't want that disappointment. I was like, I'm not going to send it because they're not looking. I'm not going to get a reply. They're going to think it's some kind of chemical to kill people. So fuck it, right? So I said, fuck it. I put the tape in the back seat with the other 2019 VHS tapes. So I just was riding around town with that shit in my back seat. And one night I went to this karaoke spot called Cowboys in Las Colinas, Cowboys spot. And I'm leaving and they hand me a flyer about a talent show. And I was like, oh, talent show? You got somebody hosting? He said to me, our host just canceled on us. I was like, for real? Let me give you this tape. That's the only tape I ever gave away. So I went in the trunk, popped the trunk, got the tape, gave him the tape. I said, I could host a talent show. Never hosted a talent show in my life. Ever in my life. Never hosted shit. But I gave him the tape. I said, I could host a talent show. So he took the tape. They called me. They was like, you could do this? I was like, yeah. So I ended up hosting the talent show. I don't know if you a big Cowboys fan?
Yeah.
You remember Kevin Smith? Puppy Dog? It was his talent show.
Oh, wow.
Kevin Smith. I love Kevin. Thank you, Kevin. I love you to death. So, Kevin, because they called me and I had a meeting with Kevin, and Kevin was like, can you do it? I was like, yeah, I could do it. Never did shit. Never did nothing in my life. But I was like, yes. Kevin was like, you sure? I was like, yeah. So he gave me the opportunity. There was a video program show, Southern Video Vibe, filming the talent show. So I did a great job at the talent show. So the video show was like, you want to work with us? For free, right? They're not paying me, but they're like, you want to work with us? I'm like, yeah. So I started working for the video show, Southern Video Vibe. And then within this whole same year, 97.9 popped into Dallas. No one knew 97.9 was coming. It was all K104. So all of a sudden, 97.9 just popped into Dallas. So the video show that I work for was like, we're going to get a relationship with them. We're going to go and talk to them. So when they did, I was like, I want my own relationship with them. I feel like maybe this could be for me too. Never been on radio, never been in a radio station, never called in to win, never won, never heard my voice on radio. But when they was like, we're gonna develop it, I said, I'm gonna develop it too. So it was probably a year from 97.9 getting here that I kept trying and I kept saying, what about me? Here I am. Check me out. Check me out. Check me out. Check me out. And all of a sudden they checked me out. And then boom, they gave me a job. That's how I got on radio, because I met a French bitch in DC that showed me that I didn't want to be regular. I didn't want to be regular. I got on radio because I met a bitch in DC. Not a bitch, but my bitch. Not your bitch, but my bitch. Jean, who showed me that I wanted more. I wanted more. I just didn't want to be regular. I wanted more.
Yeah.
And that more kept going and going and going until I got where I am. That was it.
So how long you been in radio now?
22 years.
22 years.
22
Wow.
years.
So you started off at 97.9 The Beat. Where you at now?
I'm at 94.5. So it's really the sister station to 97.9.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's like the R&B, old school R&B station, but they're owned by the same company.
By the same company. Okay.
The same company.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I thought it was like two separate.
I'm in the same hallway.
Oh, so you still there?
I'm there.
Mm-hmm.
The what's crazy, like when I got let go from Veda Loca in the morning, I kept my key fob because I knew I wasn't done. I didn't know what the capacity was, but I just kept it.
Mm-hmm.
And when they brought me back, they just reactivated my same motherfucking key fob, and here I went.
He's like,
back in the building.
here it is.
Back in the building.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
So I know you also have a podcast, right?
I have 5 podcasts.
5 podcasts.
Yeah.
What's the name?
So one of them is the Veda Loca Experience.
Mm-hmm.
That's just me speaking to people like on Instagram Live, interviewing them because I want to have a part in healing the world. So it's like a podcast just about healing, about being an adult and maneuvering in the life. So that's the Veda Loca Experience. Then I have one called 2 Sets of Lips. That two sets of lips podcast is me and my ex-boyfriend's sister.
It sounds like some after-hour podcast.
It's amazing. Then I have a Sex and Politics podcast where we talk about sex and politics. And then I have a podcast with Jazzy Black called At Work Not Working. The At Work Not Working podcast. So that's 4. So the reason I do a lot of podcasts is because on my vision board, it says I have the top 5 podcasts in the nation. And in order to have the top 5 podcasts in the nation, not top 5 like I have 5, but one of the top 5 in the nation. So that just means that you have to continue to work. And you don't know which one is going to pop, but you got to keep going until whatever pops and be very consistent. Happens.
Just keep on going.
Keep on going. Hustling. Never stop.
So do you have any other ventures that you're working on now? Other than the podcast and all?
The podcast, the radio. Oh, so I have a multi-million-dollar website. Damn, I should have worn my t-shirt. Okay, well, I have this brand called Vagina. So I have, you ever saw my Vagina shirts? Jordan, you saw my Vagina? I saw your Vagina. Shirts. Awesome. So I have a t-shirt line where Vagina shirts and candles, tumblers. So yeah, I'm working on that. And the website is VedaLoca.com.
VedaLoca.com.
So do you know I purchased VedaLoca.com about 10 years ago and didn't do shit with it. But because I was Veda Loca, right? So I'm Veda Loca. And something said, bitch, you better buy VedaLoca.com. Because Ricky Martin was out living la vida loca. Like so many Veda Loca shit. And so I was like, ooh, let me just get it. In my head, let me get it, right?
Yeah.
So I don't got VedaLoca.org or Veda.Loca. You know, I have VedaLoca.com.
But that's smart, capturing that domain name. Because a lot of people usually they'll go and take your domain name
and hold it hostage.
Until you come knocking on that door. It's like, excuse me.
But see, I got it 10 years ago.
So you were ahead.
Yeah, and for 10 years I did nothing with it, but I still paid the payments on it.
You still planted that seed.
I still paid. Yeah, I still gave GoDaddy that money every time they sent me that email talking about it's about to expire. I just kept doing it. And finally, probably like almost 15 years later, it's up.
Wow.
15 years later, it's up.
Cool.
VedaLoca.com.
So where did the name Veda Loca come from?
My name is Veda.
But the Loca?
I'm
'Cause
crazy as
you're
fuck.
just crazy.
You didn't hear this
Did
interview?
somebody just
Well,
bless you?
I
or-
was when I was doing hair. So I would, when I was doing hair, I would tell everybody, I'm gonna be famous. I'm gonna be famous. I'm gonna be famous. I got a vision. I'm going.
Mm.
And finally, when the radio came about, and I was like, damn, I need a name. And one of my coworkers, his name is CJ. So one of my so this is when Ricky Martin, that song really was hot.
Mm.
It was out. Living living la vida loca, living la vida. So I
Get
was
it.
like, y'all, I need a name. And one of my coworkers at the beauty salon was like, bitch, you crazy. Veda Loca. And I was like, you're right. I am crazy.
Mm.
But my real name is Veda. No cap. Just Veda. So when he said throw the Loca, and then Ricky Martin gave me, confirmation, that's where I got Veda Loca.
Wow. I did not know your name was Veda, but I thought it was part of the whole nickname.
My government name is Veda.
Okay. That's cool.
That's God.
Yeah. It's destiny.
Yeah.
You put it out there in the universe and look.
It comes right back to you.
Oh, yeah.
Like a boomerang.
Yeah.
Pew.
You got to have faith, confidence in yourself, to invest in yourself, to just keep doing your thing.
I'm gonna say this. You have to believe. So many times you will come up with something that you want to do, and then you let it go because you really don't believe that you can do it. We talk ourselves out of the best positions because we don't believe.
Mm.
But I believed that I belonged. Like, I believed I belonged. When I met that young lady from Paris, Jean helped me believe that I belong. She put me in areas and situations where I believed I belonged. And when I started believing that I belonged, my life changed. But I had to believe I belonged, not wanting it, like, oh, I want it. No, I believed that it was owed to me. I believed that I was supposed to be there. And belief, and it's so crazy, belief is a very small word, right? Belief rolls off the tongue real easily. And I guess that's God's trick to us, because belief is one of the hardest things that you'll ever do for yourself. You have to wake up in the morning, and when shit don't go your way, and when no one's watching your podcast, and no one's tuning in to your radio show, and no one's buying your t-shirts online, no one's bringing their car to your dealership, no one's buying anything from you, no one's hiring you for an engineer job, no one believes that you are capable, but when you believe, and you do not sway, you believe. So belief is such a short word, but it's a big deal. It's a big deal. It's a huge deal, because as long as you believe, it will happen. It will happen. And it's not on your time. It's not on your time. I believed I was supposed to have everything I had. It took me years. Like, I didn't get my morning show. It took me 20 years to get a morning show. It took me 20 years, but I believed it took me 20 years to get we wasn't just on morning radio. We was on television. We was on the CW33. And I wasn't just on the CW33. I was on satellite radio. I was on Shade 45 for 5 years. That was I believed that I was supposed to be on satellite radio. Like, people would say, Veda, so what do you want to do next? satellite radio. I always say it's satellite radio, satellite radio, satellite radio. I was on Shade 45 for a little more than 5 years because I believed I belonged. I believed it. I believed it. No one could tell me different. I didn't give a fuck what anybody said. I believed that I belonged. So I really feel like your belief should be another word, because belief is easy to say, but it's not easy to do. Belief is easy to come out your mouth, but it's not easy to hold in your heart. So I believe like we should change the word to believe to supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, because you need to know that this shit is not easy. So not only do you got to believe it, you got to spell it. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Even though the name of it sounds something quite atrocious. But when I say it loud enough, oh, damn, I forgot to... Jordan, you're white. Tell... Even though the name of it is supercalifragilistic. But just the whole thing about it is belief is big. Belief is big. It's big and it's huge and it's big. And you gotta believe. And when you believe, it will come to pass. I believed in my morning show, it came. I believed in being in the entertainment industry, and it came. I believed in being on satellite radio, and it came. I believed on being on TV, and it came. I didn't just believe it because I wanted to believe it. I believed it because I knew I belonged there. I belong there. I thought I was like, God wants me there. God wants me there. I want me there, and God wants me there, and I'm going to be there. Everything I ever believed came true. That I really believed. Not I halfway believe, fake believe, sometimes believe. That I really believe. Everything came true. Everything. Belief is a big word. With a little...
So where are you going next? Like, where do you want to go as far as with your career?
So I'll tell you what my vision board says. And what my vision board says is everything that I believe. So I will be on stages in front of millions of people telling my story. But not just telling my story to tell it. I'm going to tell my story so I can help other people tell their stories. You know, I'm a 20-year cocaine addict. You know, I was a mom. I'm still a single mom. I raised my son as a single mom. I remember one year I never looked in his backpack because I was I was on coke. I have a story. The fact that I believed that I could do some shit and I did it. The fact that I even though when people kept telling me, no, 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 I was like, yeah, it's coming. So I have a story to tell. So on my vision board, it says, I will speak in front of millions of people and tell my story and help them tell their story as well. Because I believe that when you tell your story, you heal. Also on my vision board, I want to heal the world, Craig. I want to heal the world. I want the motherfucking world to heal. Because see, if your vision is not big and scary, it's the wrong vision. When I tell motherfuckers I want to heal the world, I want them to look at me like, bitch, you crazy. Yep, I am. But you got to have a crazy vision in order to get up and fight. So I tell my story, help others tell their story. I'm going to heal the world. And I have the top 5 podcasts in the nation, a national syndicated radio and television show. That's my... So
those are big accomplishments.
Those are my things.
Those are big accomplishments. You know, not everybody can say they done what you done. You know, and
That's a that's a did.
Yeah.
Already did.
You already did it.
Already did. Now, and let me tell you something. It's very scary trying to figure out what to do next. When you accomplish those things, it's very scary trying to figure out what to do next. Because you almost feel like you're not supposed to be there because God took it away from you. You know, when you get everything you ask God for, when you get everything you ask God for, and then it's gone. Because I asked God for those things. I asked God for the morning show. I specifically asked God for a fucking morning show. I specifically asked God for satellite radio. And I specifically asked God for television. And when He gave everything to me and then it got taken away, I was scared to dream again. I was scared to ask. I was scared to ask, but now my story is, bitch, don't be scared to ask. You did it once, you do it again, but you have to go big. You got to go bigger because the bigger is not about you. The bigger is about what can you do to help somebody else. Bigger is not for self. Bigger is for the world. So I'm going big now because I know God was like, you were so selfish when I gave you those things. You didn't even go out and do shit. You didn't go out and help nobody. You didn't go to no homeless shelters. You didn't go to no soup kitchens. You didn't have no classes. You didn't teach people how you got there. I gave you all that shit and you just kept it
to yourself.
To myself. That's why God took it away. Because I kept it to myself. So now I'm going big because I know my big doesn't mean just big for me. My big is big for the universe. My big is like, boy, I'm healing the world. I'm going to have little girls proud of themselves. They're going to accomplish everything they want to. They're going to reach their goals. They're going to set goals. They're going to be amazing. Like, I'm going to have a part of that.
Yeah.
That's my vision now.
That's cool. That's a cool vision to have, to help others.
What's your vision?
My vision? Mm-hmm. I just want to see my family happy.
How? Specifically. Your vision has to be very specific. God doesn't know. Like, so when you wake up in your morning and you say, I want to be rich, right? The universe does not know what rich means. The universe knows exactly what you say to it. Mm-hmm. You have to be very specific with your podcast. You have to be specific with everything you do. You have to be like very specific. You got to say it out your mouth. I said morning show out my mouth. I said television out my mouth. I said satellite radio out my mouth. I said these things out my mouth. Not like, oh, I want to be famous. No, that's not enough. You have to say specific what you want.
What your goal is.
That's the only way you're going to get what you want is to be very specific because the universe is specific. So what do you want?
What I want.
How are you going to get rich? Because you say you take care of your family, you want to be rich. How?
Well, this is a start right here.
To be specific. I want to hear it. I want you to put it in the universe so you can look back at this and keep saying it and keep repeating it. And I know it will happen if you believe it.
So I guess at the end of the day, I guess I would want to say that have a platform, like a stage, like a show where I'm having all these different type of guests coming through with different talents, not just music, not just producing, engineering, acting, sports, everything. You know, because everybody has a dream and everybody has a story.
Let me tell you something. Until I started saying specifically what I wanted, I wasn't seeing anything. I got specific.
Hey, but in a way, I already started doing that though. You know what I mean? Because before all this, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna have all these people on my show. And you know what I mean?
So now it's time to go bigger.
Yeah, of course.
Get more specific.
Because if not,
Get
I'm going
more
home.
because you gotta have somewhere else to go. You don't want to just stay here.
I know.
You're bigger. So tell the universe exactly what the fuck you want. Period.
There you go.
Real bad.
For all those dreamers, she just dropped them gems for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's up to you what you do with the information. But I know I'm going to go big. You know what I'm talking about? So,
I feel like you should have pulled your penis out just then. It was like, I'm going to go big. Bam! Bam! Okay, I'm sorry. I'm so sexual.
no, it's all good. So you got any shout outs?
Uh-uh.
Anybody you want to shout out to?
No.
Any plugins you want to plug in? Clothing line? Anything?
Veda Loca.
Veda Loca.
.com.
There you go. Jordan said he still wants his t-shirt.
Ooh, I like Jordan. No disrespect to his girl. I like you too, but I like Jordan because he knows about my t-shirts.
Hey, well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, we're still on?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. I thought we was I did not know we were still recording.
Oh, yeah. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The one and only Veda Loca, man. It was great, entertainment, crazy, and all the above. I want to thank you for coming through, showing me some love.
I did not know we still on.
It's all good, man.
It's all good.
Hey, keep your ears to the streets. I'll catch you on the block. This is your boy, Money Elms. Peace.
SourKidsProductions.